Hello, you beautiful being. Welcome back to the Monday Messages. I am Katie J. I'm a women's empowerment coach and a spiritual mentor to badass women. Women who want to transform their lives and women who want to manifest without the struggle of limiting beliefs, doubts, and fear. And today we are talking about the shadow some more. Last week, if you didn't already watch last week's video, the email that I sent you to access this video has a link to all of the videos that I've recorded for Monday Messages. So go back and watch that shadow work video where I introduce the shadow in my own words and share a few signs that you are missing out on some shadow work or maybe ignoring your shadow work. So today, I'm going to elaborate on that some more. I'm going to share from one of my absolute favorite books of all time. If you are on a spiritual journey and the chakra system is something you're interested in learning about and how it can apply to your life and help you improve and continuously grow, then this book, Eastern Body, Western Mind, is an incredible resource. As you can see, I have thoroughly annotated and gone through this book. I read through it all the time, no matter what I'm working through or working on or working with, who I'm working with. I reference this amazing resource by Anodea Judith. So highly recommend it. I'll read a little bit about her interpretation of the shadow and how it shows up in your relationship. So without further ado, I'm going to continue on the list that I started last week about the 10 clues that you need to do some shadow work. So I'll go ahead and get started on number 6. Instead of wasting your time recapping, I try to keep these short and sweet, under about 10 minutes. So without further ado, so one sign that you need to do some shadow work is that you feel stuck. You use the word and you feel the energy of stuckness, which, means that you can't move forward. You don't feel like you can attract the abundance, the fulfillment, and the happiness that you want in life. And so another sign that I'm going to say, which is number 7, another way of expressing this stuck energy is I have a block. I have a money block. I have a relationship block. I have a love block. Whatever it is, you feel like there's this wall that awesome people, awesome situations, or something is like hitting the wall and then not able to really make it into your life in a way that's sustainable, in a way that is regenerative, really. So, maybe you feel, so 2 signs that I've gone over so far that you have some shadow work to do. You feel stuck and you feel like there's a block. Number 8 is you struggle with the low self issues. So that's just like an umbrella term, the self issues. So low self-esteem, low self-confidence, low self-worth, low self-respect, and low self-love. Low self-esteem, low self-confidence, low self-worth, low self-respect, and low self-love. Many of you already know that you struggle with these things. Some of you don't know that you struggle with these things, and that will be an entirely different topic for another day. But if you know that you struggle with these things, then there's probably some shadow work that you have not done. So that's number 8 of the list of 10. Number 9, that you have some shadow sign. Number 9 sign that you have shadow work to do. That's a mouthful. You want something, but you tell yourself you can't have it. You want something, but you tell yourself you can't have it. I always call it like the stiff arm. You say you want something and you're like, but there's no way I can ever have that. You just like stiff arm it, and energetic stiff arm, and say like, nope, there's no way I'll ever have that. I'll never be rich, or I'll never have, well-behaved children, or I'll never have, get straight A's, if you just like continue to stiff arm what it is that you want. That is a sign that you are not processing through some self-judgment, which leads me into the last one, which is the last number 10 sign that you need some shadow work, or you're ignoring your shadow work, is that you judge others' actions as right and wrong, or you just judge others as right and wrong. Let's sit with that as we transition into Eastern Body, Western Mind, because she has some things to say about that exact topic. Since the second chakra produces the first major change in consciousness, the first experience of opposites, and represents literally the number 2, it is associated with duality and polarity. Thus, one of the tasks of the second chakra adult development is to integrate previously polarized or one-sided aspects of our personality into an indivisible whole. This is an essential step in our alchemical quest, the reclaiming of the shadow and the integration of such polarities as masculine and feminine, mind and body, inner and outer experience. As it is with Jung's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Jung's individuation process, we often have to move downward into the unconscious to pick up lost remnants of the lower chakras in order to become whole. In the second chakra, our work is to reclaim the shadow. The shadow represents repressed instinctual energies that are locked away in the realm of the unconscious. They do not die or cease to function, but they are no longer part of the conscious awareness, no longer directly expressed through our conscious activity. Consequently, they are enacted unconsciously, sometimes with great force. We may think that we never get angry, but enact a passive stubbornness that infuriates others. We may deny our own neediness, but subtly manipulate ourselves into the center of attention. Keeping the shadow in chains requires a great deal of energy and robs the whole of its grace and power. If all of your energy is being used to shove down that shadow energy, guess what your energy is not being used for? Manifesting. Furthermore, it doesn't work. The shadow chases us in our dreams, it sabotages our work and relationships, it energizes compulsive activities. When the shadow is repressed, we are cut off from our wholeness and from our ground. As the instinctual energies are a large part of the child's psyche, we are also removed from the innocence and spontaneity of our inner child. When the shadow remains unacknowledged, it is projected onto others. Like a hidden shape over which we shine our inflated light, the shadow is seen parading shamelessly in the behavior of those around us, while we remain righteously virtuous. When we become polarized, we are like a magnet, drawing towards us the opposite pole. We invariably attract those who embody our rejected shadow as mates, bosses, coworkers, neighbors, our children, who insinuate themselves into our lives through relationships we cannot easily escape. If we have rejected our personal power, our boss will be a tyrant. If we are an ever-giving codependent, we will marry someone cold and withholding. If we are quiet and considerate, our neighbor or roommate will be noisy and inconsiderate. Shadow qualities are met with intense criticism and judgment as they are projected onto others. The presence of this judgment is our clue to the shadow as a rejected self. If sexuality is a rejected self, then overt sexuality in others will produce a highly charged negative reaction, much like what we see in some religious sects fixated on the sexual behavior of others. If anger is a rejected self, we will fear and criticize it in others. If we repress our emotions, we will have little tolerance for those who are needy, crying, or strongly expressive. It makes us very uncomfortable to be around someone expressing our shadow energies. Our judgment is an attempt to negate the source of our discomfort. The last part I'm going to read to you. Reclaiming the shadow dissolves judgment and brings greater acceptance of self and others and restores the essential wholeness. So I just wanted to spend 2 weeks talking about shadow work because it's something that I personally use in my own spiritual practice. It's something that my coach walks me through, my mentor walks me through, and I appreciate it tremendously. It's completely changed the way that I shift energy in my life. It's completely changed the way that I address blocks and barriers and self-confidence issues and what else is on this list. Giving my power away, it's greatly affected, like I talked about last time, what triggers me and how to actually handle those triggers in a respectful and healthy way. And also, it's taught me not to judge others so much, which I feel like has been just the most liberating thing in the world, because I know that like it's just a reflection of some part of me that I haven't processed if, you know, I feel a certain way towards somebody. So I do shadow work with my clients because I do feel like it is extremely valuable and extremely accessible. It's just a matter of creating the time and the space to do it and to show up for yourself and to resolve these energies instead of allowing them to hang out for any longer and continue to affect you and your manifestations. So that's it for this week. Next week, I'm really excited to talk about an email that I got from one of the women that I'm connected with in this community. She asked me, let's read this question. First, she asked me, this might be a weird question, but did it take you a while to get used to manifesting and seeing your own power at work? And then her next question was, you said that you saw a big love in a child in your 10-year vision while helping others as who you were. How are you content even now when everything isn't fully together? Do you ever get anxiety about when the next part is coming? So I wrote her a response to that, and I'm going to read that to you guys next week and talk a little bit more about that question and that topic. So I look forward to connecting with you all, and have a fantastic week.